Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Washington Examiner article. Federal Bureau of Investigation search of Biden University of Delaware archive may be next. February 2nd, 2023. So, people are talking about this. Ted Cruz has called for the Federal Bureau of Investigation to investigate, raid, intervene, and obtain the 1,850 boxes donated, apparently, according to the Daily Mail, by Hunter's business partners. Hunter's business partner moved 1,850 boxes of sensitive documents from then VP Joe. Joe's White House office lawyer told him about Obama-Biden papers, which Joe likely did not own. And so that's 415 gigabytes as well of information that the University of Delaware has. This is very bizarre, ladies and gentlemen, because he has all this information mainly from his time as senator. He did not have the ability to declassify, so he used the University of Delaware to block any Freedom of Information Act requests and any attempt at finding out what exactly it is he took. So if you are a senator, and you've been senator like Biden for decades, since the 70s, you don't want any investigative journalism done on your time in the Senate. What do? Well, you don't have the power to declassify documents. It is not legal, and you would be committing a crime to remove classified documents. As senator. As president, Trump did not commit a crime. That's why he wasn't indicted. He was a president. Commander-in-chief can declassify anything, virtually anything. The Supreme Court has ruled that by virtue of being commander-in-chief, he has the ability to classify and declassify. The vice president can declassify only if he or she was part of the original classification process, according to President Obama's executive order. Okay, so that should tell you why this situation is very difficult, or that should tell you why Hunter and Joe face they face felonies. It's not just, Trump could have worked with somebody to influence people in 2016. And then, of course, they found that to be nonsense. This is intelligence agencies giving their assessment, their intel on Trump, which is a euphemism for just bias. And you could say anything and say it's intelligence, and then Democrats will want an investigation. These are actual criminal acts. So when you have a laptop that shows clear violations of the law, then you have an attempt at hiding records, then you have classified data all over from Biden's time as senator that the Federal Bureau of Investigation has already found. When he was a senator, he did not have the ability, the authority as commander-in-chief to declassify anything. He didn't even have President Obama's executive order that he signed. So the rebuttal is, the vice president could declassify. Well, not everything, only things that he classified. And furthermore, he wasn't vice president. These are 1,850 boxes. Primarily, almost all of them are classified, records, likely classified, many of them, a great many, likely, that emanate from Biden's time in the Senate, when he didn't have any ability to declassify the documents. And we know from the New York Post and the Daily Mail and others, the Federalist also, that he could have very well repackaged or rewritten or summarized the classified data. He could have summarized the classified data, if you could believe this, in a Cliff Notes version to potential business partners to obtain business deals as part of a consulting agreement with big multinational corporations. What better way to land multi-million-dollar deals than to offer something nobody can offer, classified data in a repackaged form? So that's very likely what Hunter and Joe have been up to. Also, the emails point to Joe working with Hunter. These are felonies directly linking Biden. This is direct evidence. This is not indirect evidence. This is not, a hunch. He is named within these emails. There's money flow, and there's an attempt to hide records. You had nothing like that with Trump. Nothing. You had a Steele dossier they literally fabricated. Anyway, hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen. A very important segment on CNN and Don Lemon prior to this one. I will have 2 live streams today, so be here, for the 2 live streams. Go to H.A. Goodman's other channel. I'll have segments today as well there. And if you want to support my work, my Patreon is below, ladies and gentlemen. Your Patreon support is greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. Go to hagoodman.com to read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, and become join a newsletter. Did I repeat myself? I might have. I apologize. So Ted Cruz calls for search of Biden papers at University of Delaware. University of Delaware officials could be also subpoenaed by Congress. They could be also harboring classified data. There was no process to decide what was classified or not classified when the National Archives, by the way, was told not to tell anybody, by the way. So the National Archives is in on it also. They were told not to tell. And notice how nothing ever leaks. Notice how there's never any leaks pertaining to ongoing criminal investigations. Let's put it that way. So Hunter was being investigated while they were impeaching Trump in 2019. Think about that for a second. Think about if we had that laptop in 2019, when Trump made the mortal sin of asking another country to investigate Biden, and there was no effort to intimidate anyone. It was a phone conversation, and they might indict Trump in Georgia for a phone conversation because they're desperate. Because they know they can't stop. Look, they can't stop Trump without the entire public relations monstrosity going after them. MSNBC, CNN, the Washington Post, Times, New Yorker, New York Magazine, The Atlantic, Time Magazine, Vanity Fair, Rolling Stone, Esquire. I mean, you can, all of these other publications all say the same thing about Trump all the time. And we're 90 seconds to midnight now. With Trump, we had record low in poverty in 2019. Record low in poverty in 2019 with the Doha Agreement and first president to step foot in North Korea, Abraham Accords. Or 90 seconds to midnight, record high in inflation and society and everything else breaking down before our very eyes. So what do you think? Like, the adults are in charge now. You remember when they said, oh my God, Trump. Oh my God, he's so horrible. Oh, he's a menace to society. He's going to devour democracy. He's going to eat up the entire planet and universe. Be careful what you wish for. And again, it's like a lot of the people who vote against Trump and for Biden or Democrats, if the media stayed neutral, if you had a neutral media where you looked at actual crimes that were taking place. So Joe very likely committed actual crimes. Okay? There's 150 suspicious activity reports that banks investigated. Okay, these are activity reports that banks investigated with money transaction business. So you have hundreds of millions of dollars flowing into either Bill and Hillary's foundation, which is very bizarre, almost certain graft and bribery or graft schemes. But then you have, and then beneficial treatment taking place for the people who give the money. But see, that's a whole other. I think Hillary Clinton's going to be the 24 nominee. I think Hillary Clinton, in some way, shape, or form, Bill Clinton, I think that Hillary will be the 2024 nominee for the Democratic Party. I think we'll redo 2016 all over again. They might actually try to indict Trump just to prevent him from defeating Clinton a second time. And then you'll have never Trumpers in Georgia and Arizona, So state political parties might say we'd rather have Clinton. And you might think I'm nuts. But there are Democratic senators in Georgia and Arizona now. So if they don't back Trump, you could very well have another Clinton presidency with Hillary. But anyway, you have obvious criminal activity with that laptop, with business deals, with geopolitical adversaries. I mean, here's the thing. They go after Trump's golf courses or hotels. These are business deals with geopolitical adversaries, oftentimes involving like precious metals or, industry. I mean, these are like strategic industries, aluminum. So you have the criminal activity right there in front of you. If media didn't take a side, there'd be no question who would be indicted. That also is coming. That also could, after as president, they can indict Hunter and Joe again, Republicans. And they might actually do that. Trump might actually do that, very likely, with an attorney general if he becomes president again. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. I'll be doing 2 live streams today, so be here for the live stream in a couple of hours, everybody. Thank you.